Let's play one last day of OU in Generation 8. Right before Scarlet and Violet comes out, we might as well finish off this generation with some sticky web offense. We're facing off this game 1 against a Sun team. Looks really quite scary. Venusaur is always a scary Pokemon. I do have Scarf Weavile, which in theory under Webs would outspeed Venusaur, I believe. So that's cool, but then I have to keep the Torkoal from spinning. I'm going to lead off with Landorus here, because I can click Knock Off on just about anything that wants to come in. If I had to guess, I feel like you should probably switch into Mandibuzz or into your own Landorus, rather than risk me going for Earthquake. But I don't know how my opponent's going to want to play this. They may go for Greedy Rocks or Toxic, depending on how they're feeling. But if they do stay in, Knock Off is still a good play, because it'll limit their future Sun turns in case I don't get swept in the first 6 or 7 turns of the battle. While we're waiting for my opponent to make a move, let's quickly just see Venusaur under Sun. If the Sun is up against my Scarf Weavile, actually Scarf Weavile outspeeds modest Venusaur even in the Sun and kills it with Triple Axle. And that's super funny. I didn't actually know that I would still outspeed. But that's the reason to run Scarf Weavile right there. Really, we're running Scarf Weavile for things like Blacephalon, a little less for Kartana, stuff like that. Right? We just want something that's going to be stupid fast, that's going to outspeed everything no matter what. Scarf Weavile is one of those meme Pokemon that people think is bad. And it's not as strong, of course, as Banded and Swords Dance, but in this case you can see that it has value. And depending on the metagame, Scarf Weavile isn't awful. Alright, looks my opponent finally decided to click a move, and I did decide to click Stealth Rock, which is alright by me. I'm going to actually get up my own Stealth Rock here, as they decide to go Venusaur. I'm just going to U-turn here as they growth, and I'm going to go into Weavile. Now we're going to hit Triple Axle. They may be fearing for me to go for Ice Shard, but they don't. And we hit all 2 hits that we needed to, and they got sped, and there goes the Venusaur. I don't fault my opponent for making that play. If I were Banded, I don't think I would have killed them with Ice Shard. Maybe I would have. But because this first hit is 20, and then so if it were 40 base power, then that would be 50. Maybe I would have killed them if I were Choice Band, in which case they shouldn't have stayed in. So, sort of a funny first game. Scarf Weavile coming in clutch. Actually, sort of, now that they've forfeited, let's see what would have happened if I'd have been Choice Banded. I am adamant. So let's just give me +1 for a Choice Band. Ice Shard would do 78% minimum. So after the U-turn chip, I think they were in range of Ice Shard anyway. So staying in against my Weavile, probably not the wisest decision on their part, because Ice Shard would have killed if I'd been Banded. But seeing the Triple Axle kill is pretty funny nonetheless. Anyway, cool first game. Okay, now we've gone from going against Sun now to going against Rain. Rain is a different story, because I definitely would not outspeed Barraskewda, and I don't really have too much for it. Again, if I get up Webs, I think I will outspeed Barraskewda, maybe? But it's hard to say, and keeping up Webs is difficult. Especially because Defog and Pelipper could have Hurricane, in which case my Zapdos can't necessarily freely switch in. I'm going to lead off with maybe the Weavile here, I think is an okay play. If I can knock off the Pelipper, I think that'll be good. If the Weavile can't outspeed Barraskewda, then that's fine. And as we can see here, it actually is an immaculate lead. The question is, do I want to go for low kick on the Ferrothorn? Probably not. I'm guessing I don't do too much to Ferrothorn because I'm not Banded. Utility. Yeah, it doesn't even do a KO. So I'll just click knock off here. Just get rid of the item, whatever that happens to be. We'll go Araquanid here. We'll get up the Sticky Web. If they want to defog with their Pelipper, then that seems fine to me. I can go for Sticky Web here. They don't have any serious counterplay to that, right? It's not like they have a Hatterene in the back that I have to consider. And so they can go for Spike here all they want. But at this point, I think I can just go into my Choice Banded Zapdos. Well, let's check a quick calc. Pelipper. Because let's say they go into Pelipper, and they're OU defensive, and we go into my Banded Zapdos. Braber's not going to kill. So, do I want to do that, or do I want to go into Buzzwole? I think I'd rather go into Buzzwole. The main thing is that if I go into my Zapdos after I get a Defiant boost from Defog, well, then that's a lot more valuable. And I suppose my opponent's plan could be to try to pressure me with hazards. And that would be a little bit annoying, but I do have 3 flying types, so spikes aren't going to do too much. As they go for Leech Seed, I'm actually going to double here. Well, they got Protect, so they're probably going to go for Protect first here, if I had to guess. Oh, my opponent forfeited. Or they left. Let's see if they come back. But if they don't come back, the reason I want to go for Roost here is because if my opponent... Oh, they did. Is because if my opponent decides to Protect here, then I can heal back up to full, and then they're probably going to go into Pelipper on the close combat, and at that point I'll double into the Thundurus. Now they could also hard switch into the Thundurus, but yeah, there we go. See, they go for Protect. This keeps me decently healthy, and now I'm going to go into my Thundurus, like I said. They do have Zero Aura, but they go Zapdos instead, which is fine. I do outspeed this, and I'm just going to Wild Charge hard here. Because yeah, I figured that they would Volt Switch or do something stupid like that. And I do outspeed them naturally, and they're neutral to it, so they've already lost half the health on their Zapdos. My Thundurus is fine in this game, but it's not imperative to keep against the Pelipper, and Garchomp comes in and isn't really helping this situation at all. So at this point, the question is, what are they going to go for here? Stealth Rock? Maybe? I'll go back into Buzzwole here. They go for Toxic, and unfortunately for my opponent, they do miss. I can't do anything about that, sorry. Now let's just throw off a close combat here as they stay in. And they go for Toxic again. Seeing as how they'll miss Toxic a second time, then maybe my opponent will tilt a little bit. I'm surprised they didn't go Pelipper. I feel like in a rain team, generally speaking, you want to get your weather up and be offensive as much as possible. And my opponent hasn't gotten the rain up. They're not really threatening me on any front. Now I am +1 attack, and of course the Pelipper still can come in, and that will be annoying, but it's not like I need this Buzzwole anymore. So I'm going to get off a good amount of chip on their Pelipper with Buzzwole. Assuming they're not offensively based, which I suppose they could be. +1 attack. It is best to go for close combat. Oh, okay, they went into Zapdos, that's fine. Now, if they decide to Defog or Roost, that works too. Okay. Now, close combat. Main thing is I don't want them to get something for free. They're not choice specs on this set, so they must be heavy-duty boots. I'm willing to sack the Buzzwole. It doesn't do anything for me for the rest of this game. Yeah, it's nice for Ferrothorn, but I have my Zapdos, which can come in and close combat it. I have Landorus. I should be okay against the Ferrothorn still. And this Ferrothorn doesn't really do anything. Looks like my opponent's having a bit of connection issues here. The Ferrothorn doesn't really do anything against my team. The Pelipper is the thing that really is the problem that I want to kill as soon as possible, because it's allowing the Barraskewda to come in and do stuff. Now again, the Barraskewda, if it gets to... If it comes in, I think it might get outsped by Weavile because it's Choice Scarf versus the -1. But I'm not really sure about that because I still would be +1. So I probably need to keep my Arachnid healthy. Let's see. Let's go into Thundurus here. And I'm going to click the U-turn. Let's actually go Ferrothorn, which is fine by me, I suppose. At this point, I can go into my Zapdos, and I can just click Close Combat. They are going to Scout, which is fine, but if they go into Zapdos, as long as I don't get staticked, the Zapdos should die, and I'll be in a good position. And they go Pelipper. That is 50%, because I am banded. And they don't die there. That is really annoying, let me tell you. Alright. Okay, I'm going to go into Thundurus, and I'm actually going to click Fly here. Well, actually, probably shouldn't have clicked Fly. Alright. Let's go into the Weavile. I guess we have to go Weavile here. And just click the knockoff again. I wonder if this Pelipper is heavy duty boots. It's definitely not heavy duty boots. Okay, I'm really surprised that my opponent gave me the Pelipper because I didn't have Stealth Rock up. Let's look at this calc now. Barraskewda, since it's coming down to it. Okay, Barraskewda versus the Weavile. I am adamant, that probably factors in, but they're also going to probably be adamant, and they're in the rain, but they are also -1 from Sticky Web. So I actually do outspeed them. Yo. Okay, so in rain, I outspeed Barraskewda, and knockoff has a 62% chance to kill. I feel like I sort of have to go for it, and I got it. Choice Scarf Weavile! Yo, good call on my part. I wasn't sure how the Choice Scarf Weavile was gonna go, and it's definitely throwing these people for a loop, I think. But that is what it is. Now I have to keep the Weavile around for sure, and I definitely want to keep up the Lando healthy if I can. But even though Araquanid doesn't do much, if we just look at what Araquanid does, it has Liquidation, which isn't going to touch Ferrothorn, and it has Poison Jab, because I didn't put Leech Life on this particular set. And Magic Code isn't going to keep me healthy all day, so I sort of have to stay in. Okay, I'm going to switch into Araquanid now, as they may click Protect or something, I don't know. We'll find out. I actually think maybe it is better to go into Araquanid. The reason I didn't want to go to Araquanid, like I said before, is because I think... Wait, why did it go hard into Zeraora? What? You know, that's crazy. I don't understand that play at all. I'm gonna go Landorus here, as they do Plasma Fists, and I may outspeed them. I'm not sure about that one. I'm gonna click Knockoff here as they go Zapdos. They actually static me, but that does also mean that I can Earthquake them on their roost. I probably could have Earthquaked them anyway before, because they probably are faster than me. I may Hurricane here, predicting that. I'm not sure what my opponent wants to do. Another thing I could do as well is get up Stealth Rock, but I don't know. Let's see. If the Zeraora was caught in the Sticky Web, then they definitely are not heavy duty boots. So I could do some good damage to the Zeraora with Stealth Rock, but it's not going to kill because it's not going to do 25%. Okay. That's fine by me. First of all, I can always set the Sticky Web back up on it. I'm going to just go for a slow U-turn here. A bit annoying that I'm getting hacks like this, but this is why static Zapdos is very good. Now I get to go into Weavile, and I want to see what Weavile does to Zapdos. I'm guessing not too much. Let's say offensive Rain Sweeper still. Knockoff with an item does 50, but they don't have an item anymore. So I'm forced to click Triple Axle, which they miss, which is really big. Okay. I'm going to sack the Landorus here, I think. Go hard into Araquanid, because they're definitely going to protect here. I don't think you never not protect. And I'll just go for some... Let's see, let's stick you up here, seems fine, I think. And then I'm going to start spamming Liquidation. And the reason to spam Liquidation is because, well, first of all, I didn't realize it was going to do 27%. But it does do 27%. And they can protect here. But that'll still do a decent chunk, and they're not going to recover anything this turn. So the best play, probably in my opinion, would be for them to sack their Zapdos or Zeraora. If anything, right? Yeah, sack your Zeraora, there you go. Then you can come in, protect again with the Ferrothorn. And then you'll probably be out of range of low kick from Weavile. I don't know. They actually decided to go Zapdos first, which I'm going to sack Landorus on as they click Roost. That's a bit bold play for them to go for. We'll U-turn here, and they actually do miss, which is huge. Now I have to sort of make a play here. I think I am going to make the play. They have not seen that I have low kick. They have seen I have triple axle. And unfortunately that play didn't work out. If I'd gone for triple axle, I think I would have won the game right there. So, but unfortunate. If I hadn't gotten paralyzed on my Landorus, their Zapdos would have been dead. But it is what it is. Okay. Another rain team. A lot of rain in Gen 8. And I'm expecting a lot of rain in Gen 9 as well. So don't lose sight of these guys. They're going to be back. Okay, once again, they have a Defogger this time in Lando. We saw before the Barraskewda will get outsped. But this time, I think they're probably going to lead off with Thundurus, or with Pelipper. That's what I thought they would have led off the last time. I'm just going to U-turn here. Since my opponent led off better this time, I think they're definitely going to go into something that resists. Actually, they went into Landorus instead of Zeraora, which is sort of a weird play. I mean, I guess I'll take it. I'm going to go into Weavile now. You don't really have anything for Weavile too well. As I just click knockoff. They would choice scarf Lando, interestingly enough, so now they know I am choice scarfed. I wonder, I don't think Ice Shard kills from full, probably not. Okay. Let's go Araquanid hard here. Araquanid, of course, will resist the water moves, as well as close combat. Didn't take it as well as I thought it would, actually. That's a bit surprising. But that's fine. As long as we're pressuring the Barraskewda, I think we're good to go. Okay, Dragapult comes in here. I'm going to look up the Sticky Web, as that kills. Do I not have any Spadef? I'm max HP, some Spadef. Surprised that killed. But I guess I just haven't played it against enough Dragapults. Alright. I knocked off before. So I'm not going to get Sticky Web in this game, which is unfortunate. But knockoff should deal with this. It will kill Landorus. It'll do some amount to Heatran. And of course, Zeraora and Barraskewda can't switch in on it. So I think this is, I'm down a Mon. I didn't get on my Sticky Web. But at least we've made some progress. Okay. At this point, I'm going to go into... I wonder if you go for Stealth Rock here. But can I afford to predict that? I mean, I guess I can't afford to let him get up Stealth Rock. They go for Toxic. Well, I wasn't expecting that to play. So I'll die this turn to Toxic. But again, I can't afford to let them get up Stealth Rock, and the dead Heatran is fine by me. So, interesting. Let's go into Thundurus here. As they go into Landorus. And at this point, I'm just going to click Fly. As they click Stone Edge. And the reason we have Fly on this set is because this is supposed to be a Defog or Defiant spam team, right? We've got the Galarian Zapdos and the Thundurus to get the Defog boost and whatever. Alright. Let's Wild Charge here. Yeah, okay, they made a really dumb play there. Of course, they don't really need the rain. They have the Barraskewda, which just sort of sweeps at this point. I don't need this Mon, though. It's not doing anything for me. So, go Buzzwole here. We click Ice Punch on the Dragapult. I think. Yep, Dragapult. We don't get the freeze, unfortunately. We have to save this Pokemon, though. Like, we have to. So, I'm actually going to sap the Zapdos. They click Shadow Ball. That's fine. They might expect this to be Choice Specs, or Choice Scarf. But I don't really have anything to punish that, even if I were. So, that's fine, I suppose. At this point, Earthquake is free against 13. So, Spadef Lando coming in clutch. And, so now I need to check. Buzzwole versus Barraskewda, Choice Band, in the rain. Liquidation is a 2 KO. So I'm not allowed to switch. I have to click, like, knock off or something. Is the flip turn here? Which is actually fine by me. I'm actually happy that they went for flip turn. I think that's better. Now I can click Leech Life. And that'll keep me from getting a defense drop, is the main thing. And I'm basically at full. I have a +1 attack. They no longer have rain. And so the question is, do they have Psychic Fangs? If they have Psychic Fangs, then that only does half to me. And at this point, of course, it'll be just close combat, for sure. And they did have Psychic Fangs. Alright, good. So I'm really glad in this game that I didn't panic, and I didn't go hard into my Buzzwole trying to preserve the Landorus so that I could keep it for Zeraora. Zeraora may hit me for neutral with Plasma Fists, but I'm a Buzzwole, right? And so I can just spam Leech Life. That's good. I'm glad I got that endgame correct. So let's see if we can get one more game with the win. At this point, you can sort of see how the team is supposed to go. It's a really difficult matchup against Rain because my Web Setter doesn't really win against Pelipper. And in this matchup, we've got technically 3 potential Defoggers. But whatever. Let's lead off with Araquanid. We'll lead off with Zapdos and Landorus here, as they may Toxic, or they may Hurricane turn 1, as they did Hurricane turn 1. I'm going to set up my Stealth Rock first, as they go Landorus. I'll knock you off. They can set up their Stealth Rock too. I don't really care about that. Now we'll U-turn. Looks like I'm faster than theirs. Now I'll go into Araquanid. And at this point, they're probably thinking, well, they're going to set up Sticky Web, then I'll defog it. But I'm not going to allow that. At least I'm going to try not to allow it. Let's go Thundurus. It's safer than going into Landorus. And we will just click the Lash Out. Oh, wow, they did defog in front of me. Wow. Well, now they might feel a sense of security and stay in, since Lash Out did absolutely nothing. They can't go into their Landorus. Oh, wow, that didn't even kill. I thought it would, because it looked like it would have from the previous game. Okay, now they're going to have Scarf Tapu Lele here. Let's go into Landorus on you. As they do Moonblast, as they should. And I'll just Earthquake. Or Knock Off. Knock Off is better. Okay. And at this point, I'm going to go into my Araquanid. This is Choice Scarf Lele, presumably. We can just click Liquidation. And we're going to kill the Zapdos. Good, and we didn't get paralyzed a single time. That's really fantastic. So that's the Defogger gone. Now what do you go into? Dragonite? I guess you go Dragonite. Okay. I'm going to set up Sticky Web or the Tapu Lele as they do a Wing Beat. Alright, that's fine. Nothing I can do about that. I'm going to go Thundurus here. Now I'm going to U-turn out. Thundurus breaks the multi-scale. And, let's see, I don't need my... I'm gonna go Zapdos. As they do Dragon Dance, okay. Well, now we're forced to Brave Bird, as they do a Wing Beat. Going Weavile, though, they may think they outspeed me, but they will not outspeed me. And we do get the hits we need. The problem is that they have Urshifu, right? So I could have gone Weavile there before, but instead of setting up, they should have just gone into their Urshifu. I don't know what they were thinking there. Okay. At this point, I sort of just get swept by Choice Scarf Tapu Lele because I'm pretty sure that Choice Scarf Weavile is not going to kill Lele. So Choice Scarf Tapu Lele. Well, actually, we have a decent chance. It's a 60% chance to kill. Alright, maybe all is not lost. Let's go into Thundurus. Yep, and they just Magma Storm there as they should. That's fine by me. And now we click the Ice Punch because we've got to make some kind of play. Alright, and now close combat. Wow. Unfortunately for my opponent, they sort of got robbed there, but it doesn't really matter for them because they can always just come in here and click a very safe Moonblast. And I'll drop here. And now they can just go into their Urshifu. Very safe endgame. And we didn't even get the roll. So, unfortunate. Definitely the defog spam was hard against Arachnid. Or not defog spam, but because I wasn't able to kill the Zapdos, I wasn't able to get in fast enough to kill, or to get up the Sticky Web. For instance, if I'd killed with my Thundurus, if I could have killed the Zapdos, then I would have been able to get up the Sticky Web, and they wouldn't have been able to set up the Dragonite. So the game would have gotten a bit differently there, but oh well. Alright, this is a very balanced team. I think that my Weavile does passably against it. Definitely helps with Blacephalon. A lesser extent, maybe the Slowbro. And we do have low kick for the Tranitar. The Clef and Corviknight probably coming on this. Clefable is definitely a problem. I think I want to set up my Sticky Web as soon as possible against this. It's just what I'm thinking here. Let's set up Sticky Web. They'll probably Brave Bird turn 1. But they have Body Press, that's fine. Now we're going to go Thundurus. And hopefully they just mindlessly defog against my double Defiant team. As they do. Great, that is fantastic. So now Wild Charge is absolutely free. Good, good, good. I'm glad my opponent was not using their brain. So +2 Wild Charge. I don't know how much that does to this, but it's weak against it. And Tyranitar comes out, and that's fine. That's not doing anything for you. We'll just Wild Charge again. This is great. We are heavy-duty boots on this Thundurus. I wonder if I had Life Orb, if that would turn these 2-hit KOs into 1-hit KOs. And it would have helped definitely against the Zapdos before, right? Goodbye, Blacephalon. We hardly knew ye. Well, now my Weavile has a lot less value in this game. Unfortunately for the Weavile, I suppose. But fortunately for me, because as soon as you have a Pokemon that no longer has value, that means you can throw it out mindlessly. At this point, you might have extreme speed, but I am playing an offensive team. I'm just going to Wild Charge. As that does a lot. I'm going to go Landorus here. I do want to save this for the Corviknight for sure. I don't think I want to sack this just yet. As the Dragon Dance again. And now I'm going to U-turn here. Even if they roost, I will still break their multi-scale. Now let's look at this. Dragonite. Offense, the Dragon Dance, sure, why not? At +2 speed, does outspeed me. But if their multi-skill is broken, an Ice Shard does a good amount. So I'm just going to go into Weavile and Ice Shard. Yeah, they're 90%. So Ice Shard should kill. That forces them out. They can go Slowbro here. They can go into Corviknight. I don't care. But I definitely don't want to lose to the Dragonite. Let's just double check. Yeah. 90%. Ice Shard is a 93.8% chance to kill. So they are definitely not... What is it that I'm trying to say? Definitely not defensive. Or they're definitely not the offensive set, the defensive set. Alright. What do we do now here? Do we Earthquake? I wish I were Rocky Helmet. Maybe what I should have done is I should have gone into my... Oh, that's what I should have done. I should have gone into Buzzwole. That would have been a much smarter idea. What Buzzwole does is I can Ice Punch, and that'll always be at least 2 times super effective. Okay, that's fine. I get bailed out a little bit there. Now they may think that, oh, I should roost now because they saw that I was going to attack. But knockoff works too. Good. So we make it out of there alive. That was scary, but to be fair, if they had been offensive Dragonite, then I would have one-shot them with Weavile. And if I'd have been Banded Weavile, they definitely would have died. So I don't know why they stayed in there. Even if you had been bulky, if I'd been the standard normal Weavile, which is what you should expect, not some scarf nonsense, then there's no reason why that should have worked for you. Okay. I'm going to knock off here. And then I'm going to U-turn. Actually, I'm going to set up Stealth Rock is what I'm going to do now. Because you can Scald, I guess. They get a crit, but they don't get a burn, so I'll take it. And now I'm going to... I guess I got a crit last turn, so it's all good. Now I'm going to U-turn out into my Araquanid, because I can't get burned. And they actually go for Future Sight, so I guess my opponent is not really that good at Pokemon. I could go for Sticky Web, but I don't know if that's particularly valuable. I'm actually looking at Poison Jab and thinking maybe it would be better just to have Leech Life on this set. I think that I had... I think I had Poison Jab specifically for Tapus on there. But I would rather just Liquidation all the one... Tapu Fini specifically, I think that's what it was for. It's for Tapu Fini. But we haven't fought a single Tapu Fini today. So what are you going to do? We'll just Liquidation here. That does a healthy chunk to Clefable. And they can soft boil that all they want, but eventually I'll get a defense drop. I guess what they expected was Leech Life. That makes a lot of sense. There's no point for me going for Poison Jab against this, though. It'll just die. So that's okay for me. At this point, I don't need Landorus, so I'm just going to go into that. It's actually defogged again. So I guess they thought that maybe at this point I wouldn't risk going into Thundurus. That's fair, I wouldn't risk going into Thundurus. But still a little bit small-brained to defog when I still have 2 Defiant Pokemon in the back. And Banded Zapdos is going to do a lot to you, in my opinion. I mean, not even in my opinion, it's just that's how the numbers are, right? So I think that you should respect that and just not defog. Especially because what's the point of defogging? T-Tar comes out. T-Tar can come out one more time and take 1 hit. That's about it. I'm going to click knock off again. And I'll click U-turn. That's fine by me. The Slowbro will be a little bit annoying to try to kill. Not gonna lie. Click Future Sight there. I'm gonna Sticky Web up here. This team is rather weak to Tapu Lele. There's obviously no Tapu Lele here, but I was just thinking about the previous game and how my 1 Psychic Resist or Immunity is dead and would be dead in a lot more situations with Tapu Lele, so it's probably not the best team, for sure. And I think there's a lot of reason why you don't see Sticky Web spam on the ladder. Between Heavy Duty Boots and the tier just not really favoring it, I think there's not a lot of reason to use it. Well, there's the defense drop we were looking for before. Gonna go Corviknight there. Gonna go Thundurus here. Maybe they'll defog again, like a Dingbat. They do. So Wild Charge is free. I don't care about your Slowbro. That will die. Don't care about your Corviknight. That will die. And the Tyranitar will die. And we'll set up Sand, and that'll be annoying. But it's not really going to save them in the end. I think that at this point it's just basically over. So yeah, Corviknight's gone. My Thundurus is also gone. Alright. So at this point I'm going to go into Buzzwole. The reason is because if I can go for Leech Life here and get a +1 boost to my attack, that should help breaking through Slowbro. And if they decide to go Slowbro here, then that'll be just even better for me, I think. Yeah, I was hoping they'd go T-Tar there, and they did. All right, good. So in the end, we got to play around with the Defiant there with the Sticky Web. Obviously, like we saw, my opponent wasn't playing very smart. They definitely, just every time there was a hazard up on the field, they immediately defogged it. That's not how you should play against this kind of game. But it is nice to be able to have people like that are going to willingly defog Stealth Rock off the field, even though it does nothing against them, just so you can get your Defiant boost. And then you can show off the team. Yeah, we're not ending with the best rating in the OU tier, but I also haven't been playing with the best teams. I've definitely been on tilt the past few episodes. So usually I like to sit around the 1600s, but we are sitting a little bit low. But that's probably where this account will end, because I'm not going to be playing any more Gen 8. The games come out tomorrow in Japan, and Friday, of course, for the rest of us. So it'll be Gen 9 from here on out for the most part. But yeah, that'll be it, and that'll be Gen 8 in a nutshell. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.